For the first time, the Phoenix Suns debuted their new Big Three featuring Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. They're all healthy, y'all, for a matchup against KD's former team, the Brooklyn Nets. First quarter, Bradley Beal showing KD and Booker what he brings to the table. But then the former Suns joined the party. How about Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson help leading a 16-0 Brooklyn run? Just like that, they're up double digits early. Second quarter, Booker attacking the rim with pace, getting the deuce to go plus the foul. And then Beal, Booker keeping it and nailing the three-pointer. Suns cut the deficit down to 7. We're still in the second off the miss. How about Cam Thompson gathering his mess and finding Cam Johnson, who nails the three in his homecoming affair. Third quarter, Booker back to work. The Suns take the lead. Now Durant in transition. The easy money sniper gets the easy juice at the rim. Now we're in the fourth, tied at 91. You already know this dude. He don't care who's on him. He believes he's the best out there every single night. Cam Thompson had 24. Bridges wasn't too shabby himself. He contributed 21 against his former team. The Suns regained control. 90 seconds to go. It's Spencer Dinwiddie shaking, baking, and making. He's had some success in that building before. The Nets are up by 8. Suns got one more push in them. Devin Booker laid out 12 helpers. There's one of them, Nikita Bates' chop. And just like that, the Suns are down just a deuce. After a couple made free throws, Suns got to go quickly. They're down 4 in the closing seconds. Booker's 3 is no good. Despite scoring 34 points, still for mention, 12 assists and 6 rebounds, D-Book and the Suns fall in their Big Three debut to the Nets. 116-112. With LeBron James a late minute scratch, we bumped ourselves right into a duel between NBA champion Anthony Davis and the rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama. First quarter, the Lakers strike first. It's D'Angelo Russell finding you-know-who. It's AD down low. D-Lo's not done finding AD. This time, it's a top of the key. Lakers take the early 7-point lead. Check out Rui Hachimura just playing bully ball with Wembanyama out of the game. Okay, now Wembanyama returns to the game. Austin Reeves tries to do what his mans just did, but the rookie Wembanyama says, nah, we ain't doing that no more. Check out that rejection from Victor. So now AD tries his crack at the rookie, but it's Davis throwing it down. Look at Anthony putting the moves on Wemby. AD showing that veteran presence. Wembanyama not scarred though. Look at Victor going right back at AD. And then in transition we go. It's Victor Wembanyama for show. Lakers though led it by 13 as we took a break. Third quarter, Taurean Prince with the block. Look at Rui run the lane just like that dude named King James would have. Throws down the transition dunk. And then Reeves this time's going to extend his range so Wembanyama doesn't block him. Lakers take a 17-point lead. This game is over, right? Wembanyama says, no, it's not. He catches Christian Wood and no man's land. Yes, he got you, Christian. More Spurs. Keldon Johnson in the corner lines it up and knocks it down. All that being said, though, the Lakers are up by 8 with 90 seconds to go, seemingly about to cruise to a win until Wembanyama has other plans. He nails a couple of cold-blooded three-pointers with AD in his grill. Just like that, the Spurs are down 3. Wemby gets a look to tie this game in the closing seconds. Not only does Wemby not draw a foul, he's called for an offensive foul for kicking out at Cam Reddish, which means the Spurs' comeback attempts fall just that short. Wemby had 30, 13, and 2, but it's AD with 37 points and 10 boards. His squad outdoes Wemby's squad by 3. A very interesting affair between maybe two soon-to-be rivals, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks, hosting Tyrese Halliburton and the very much so talked about Pacers first quarter. For good reason they're being discussed because Tyrese Halliburton's been balling. After the throwdown from Halliburton, though, you see him bump into the Greek freak Giannis. Tyrese like, yo, what was that about? Let's keep the action moving. Giannis doing a lot of moving. He throws down the easy dunk, not once, but when your game's so nice and you're the Greek freak, you probably should do it twice. Bucks take the 7-point lead. Other end, Halliburton floats it in midway through the second. Giannis tries to pull off an incredible no-look pass to Andre Jackson, who's able to gather it, get it to Dame, who nails the three. That three-pointer ties Dame for 5th all-time on threes made with Kyle Korver. We're still in the second, and Tyrese is still posterizing guys. This dude's more bouncier than I thought. Pacers hanging around. It's Halliburton inside the Miles Turner, and just like that, we got a 1-point game in Milwaukee. Dame says, no, we don't. That three puts Dame in 5th place alone for three-pointers made all time. Giannis probably not going to break records for threes, but he still put up a lot of points despite not making any threes in this basketball game. The Greek freak goes berserk in the second half, and the Pacers have had enough. Aaron Nesmith puts a hard foul on Giannis. You see his brother, the Nash, is on the sidelines about to lose it. Bobby Portis not happy about the hard foul either on the Greek freak. And that just sets Giannis off. With 7 minutes to go in the fourth, Giannis just says, all right, y'all fouling me hard? I'm not even going to give y'all an opportunity to get to me. Giannis, with just clear paths drives all over the pace. Indiana had no response for the Greek freak. 24 of 32 from the free throw line. Giannis already over the 50-point marker here. The Greek freak ain't done yet, though. He's got a career high on his mind. And with this dunk, Giannis Antetokounmpo scores that career high with 64 points. He wants the game ball afterwards, and apparently he's willing to chase Indiana into the locker room. We later found out they gave the game ball, the Pacers did, to their rookie Oscar Tshiebwe, who scored his first point in this game. Giannis scored 63 more, though. He probably is going to get that game ball. Indiana falls to the Bucks 140 to 126. Welcome to the latest episode of the Who's Ferro podcast. I thought about this long and hard, ladies and gentlemen. Giannis, let the kid have a damn game ball. I changed my mind. Greek freak, you have scored a lot of points in your career. You are an incredible player. You're going to probably, I think with safe bets, you're going to set a new career high in points at some point in your career again. I mean, you're not even 30, and you just dropped 60 freaking 4. I think it's fair to assume that Giannis will get at least 65 points at some point in his career. Is that fair? Again, maybe it doesn't happen. I know in life you shouldn't take moments for granted. I get that. I think it's fair to assume Giannis has got one game. I think he's going to get 70 in the game. I do. I mean, 24 of 32 from the free throw line, just to think about how efficient Giannis was from the line from where he came from years ago. I mean, if he's going to knock down, what is that? I'm doing some quick math here. I promise you, I have not done these numbers. That's at least, 75, 78% from the free throw line. If he's going to do that, he's got at least one more 64-plus game in him, meaning there will be another opportunity to get a game ball for your mother. And according to Giannis, after this game, he did get a ball. He said he does not believe it was the game ball. He believes that bad boy went to the Pacers rookie Oscar Tshiebwe, who did make one free throw in this game. It was the first point in his professional career. If you know anything about Oscar, he was a standout player at Kentucky. I think he went for like 37 and 24 one game at Kentucky. Not a very skilled big, but he's incredibly strong. So, it meant a lot for him to score his first point in the NBA. Who knows if he's going to score more points? Maybe, hopefully, but we don't know. I know Giannis is going to score more points in his career. Give the damn rookie the damn ball, Giannis. And Giannis, I'm going to take this a step further with you just because we know you come from humble beginnings. There was a time in your career where you were on that bench and you didn't know when your next minutes were going to come, and that meant everything to you. Hell, right now your brother's in that spot. The Nassus don't know when his next minute's going to come. His job is to be the enforcer. If the Nassus goes and scores his career high, and I'm talking about 24 points, Giannis is going to want that freaking game ball. Like, the Nassus is somebody that's going to struggle throughout his career to get consistent minutes. That might be the story of Oscar Tshiebwe. I don't know, right? Come on now, Giannis. Let him have the damn game ball. You're better than that. You're going to score 64 again. I do think there may be something brewing, though, with this Pacers and Bucks rivalry. I like the sound of it. I love the fact that Damian Lillard has got to deal with Tyrese Halliburton now, and I don't know who steps it up on the Pacers side as their next star or who steps it up after Giannis and Dame on the Milwaukee side. I will say this, as a fan of the product, I see something I like there between the Pacers and Bucks because Boston's already got their hands full with Miami, right? We oftentimes want to look at the Celtics and the Bucks as a rivalry, but it's really been the Heat and the Celtics, and maybe, just maybe, the Heat and the Bucks, or maybe now we got the Heat or the Bucks and the Pacers, all right? So I like what we got going out there in the Eastern Conference. Draymond Green now knows that he has been suspended by the NBA. He doesn't know for how many games. We now know an indefinite suspension has been placed on the head top of Draymond Green following his spinning Superman punch heard around the world on Yusuf Nurkic during the Suns-Warriors matchup, in which, by the way, the Warriors were winning that game until Draymond decided to swing on Yusuf. They ended up losing that game, Golden State did, and now they're going to lose Draymond for maybe a significant amount of time. I don't know. This could be a 10-game suspension. I'm not sure how long it goes. I do know that Draymond is going to have to do some counseling before he gets back on the basketball court. I do know that Draymond and his representation, they're meeting with the Warriors. They're going to meet with the NBA in the upcoming days here to discuss how long he will be out of that Warriors lineup. Yeah, just my instant reaction to it. I was watching that game live. It was a TNT game, and I immediately said, yo, what is going on with Draymond? He has now become the Anthony Davis of getting ejected out of basketball games. You know that feeling when you're watching Anthony Davis play basketball, and knock on wood, you just never know if this is going to be his last play of the game, of the month, of the season. You now got that same feeling with Draymond Green. But what I'm explaining to you is ridiculous because we're talking about somebody who all he has to do is not react in a crazy, egregious way when a player grabs on his jersey or whatever the case may be, a hard foul comes his way or his teammates involved in an altercation. All we're asking Draymond to not do is Superman punch people or choke them out in the middle of the game. And, you know, maybe he can't control those actions, which I'm going to be honest with you, I've never met Draymond Green. Seems like to be a super intelligent brother, but we can't keep calling this dude super intelligent if he can't control himself enough to not cost himself money, to not cost his team games with him not being around. We can't keep throwing this high IQ on him. Maybe he's not as intelligent as we have given him credit for. When I listen to this man on the podcast, when I've seen him play throughout his professional career, I see a guy that's a guy that I wouldn't mind having a drink with at a bar. That's a guy where there's only but so many guys I want to have like a drink at the bar with and discuss hoops that I think really know the game and would give it up to me. And what I mean by that is like, tell me the real behind the stories of how the Warriors were feeling going into that matchup, what he really feels. Draymond fits that description. But again, we can't keep giving this man credit for being one of them if he ain't one of them. This is ridiculous. And I'm going to be honest with you. Now looking back in retrospect, if Draymond really is struggling with controlling his physical, you know, his hands, right? Like if he can't control himself when somebody grabs onto him, he's probably going to find himself out of the league sooner rather than later. But more than that, it means it's even more ridiculous what he did to Rudy Gobert. That wasn't a Draymond altercation. That was his right-hand man's Klay Thompson involved in a situation with McDaniels, and then Rudy Gobert comes over, and then Draymond doesn't care for Rudy, so he comes in and chokes him. Like, I think we're talking about two different instances. To me, now the choke on Rudy Gobert looks even more ridiculous if Draymond is legitimately going through some stuff where he can't control himself, and it forces him to freaking spin and punch Yusuf Nurkic. You get what I mean by that? And I'm going to say this to Draymond, like, you know, this looks bad. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to put some out in the atmosphere that I know nothing about. But my brother, make sure you're good, and I pray your home is good. I'll leave it at that. I will pray that your crib is good, because That doesn't look right. If you can't control yourself when somebody touch you the wrong way at your job, that doesn't look good, my brother. Kevin Durant knew it didn't look good. As a matter of fact, during a recent interview following the Suns' loss to the Nets next game after, KD actually discussed Draymond and his suspension. He said, that was insane to see. I'm glad Nurkic all right. Never seen that before in a basketball court in an NBA game. Obviously, Kevin Durant, former teammate of Draymond, he says, I hope he gets the help he needs. It's been incident after incident. I know Draymond, and that's not he hasn't been that way when I was around him and coming into the league. Hopefully he gets the help he needs to get back on the court and put all that stuff behind him. Yeah, that's probably as honest as you will see a guy at Kevin Durant's level keep it about a contemporary, a former teammate, a friend, I believe Draymond to be of Kevin Durant. But you know what, though? It's weird because we have seen instances where Draymond, it's not just about foreign-based players, y'all. He has not been able to control his mouth. Now it's physical. But remember, there were instances where he was calling LeBron a beeb, during the finals, and that ended up leading to the physical altercation where he got suspended. Speaking of Kevin Durant, it appears as if, though, he called KD out of his name. Remember that infamous Warriors-Clippers game where Draymond and KD got into it on the bench? It appears as if, though, it used to be Draymond's words that he couldn't control on the court, which words are words, right? Sticks and stone may break my bones, words don't, the thing. But now we're at the point where we're past words. Oh, Dre ain't doing no talking. And he's using that to his advantage where he's got pretty much the league fearful of him right now. And he's swinging. But he's swinging on guys. He's choking out guys who have no idea the boogeyman is coming behind them and about to choke them out. Or the freaking Superman punch from Roman Reigns is about to hit him in the freaking side of the head. Like, this ain't freaking wrestling. Like, this dude is literally coming out of nowhere and cheap-shotting people. That ain't good. This is way past the stuff Draymond used to do early in his career where he kicked guys below the belt. He's always been an awkward faller. If you listen to his podcast, he tells you how he doesn't have great balance. This ain't about balance. That man swung and punched Yusuf. That was just about wanting to do something stupid. And again, it ain't funny. Hopefully he gets the help he deserves, but you see a guy like Kevin Durant go out and make a comment like that saying it's been instance after instance. I think players are trying to hint at, yo, bruh, something not right with bruh. And, it's been that way for a little minute now is what I took from what Katie said. Hopefully Dre gets the help that he needs right now. And I don't know what that means for his basketball future. He'll be back. I was listening to Colin Cowherd this morning, and ironically, Colin said he was negotiating with Draymond over the last 24, 48 hours when all this has happened. And it was interesting. Colin said he thinks one of the things that might be hurting Draymond is that he's no longer been podcasting. He's been in negotiations with The Volume, Colin Cowherd's network, where Draymond does his podcast on. And I guess I never thought about that. Colin was like, yo, he lost his therapy until this deal gets done. And it's going to be one of the richest deals in podcast history when Colin does it with Draymond. I hear what Colin's saying. I'm sure there may be probably some truth in that. But Colin, he makes a lot of money. He's a professional athlete, Draymond. No excuses. He's got all we're asking you is to not choke guys out and swing and punch them in the middle of basketball games, and you'll be fine. Time, love, and support is what your boy will never take for granted. Thank y'all for tapping into another episode of the Who's Ferro podcast. I appreciate you tapping in, locking in with your boy. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories. I talk music. I cover sports. I am culture. I am Ferro.